Alright, this is a game that I had on Karelia in the Tier 8 US medium, the T69. Not a whole lot that I do here that's like exceptional. I just want to point out some tips for Karelia and some little situations that I think make a difference in the game. So typically what you want to do is take this middle donut area, even if you don't have the right composition for it, if they have more speed, you want to at least start heading out there, and then when you get there you sort of make a call as to whether to continue to push the hill or to pull back. In this case, a lot of it depends on what the rest of your team does. And so we've got a decent amount going here, but you'll notice that like our MT25 and our STA, two of our faster tanks, along with the T3485, they're going the other way. So that should be a flag to say, hey, maybe we're going to have to punch out here, but we'll still see. We've got a KV-1S leading the way. And this T32 is going down into this ditch here, which especially without Artie is really good for him because he'll be able to hold down there and should be able to do a lot of work. But we see that they haven't really pushed up anything there. Their IS-3 stopped and backed up. And then we're starting to light things in the backfield. And then so where this KV-1S is, he's in a good spot. And as long as they don't push in here, we're in a good spot. We see that they've run into some resistance on the other side. We've got, you know, over a third of our team over here. They've got 5 just on the one line and then 2 in the middle. We're not exactly sure what their dispersion is like yet. And then it looks like we're controlling this area right now, so we have the hill. This 45 will probably die to the T32 pretty soon. So one good thing about having the hill is that you can shoot across at these guys over here fairly easily, so you just need to get your tanks in position up on this plateau, and you can get shots on these guys that'll be lit by your force over here. And then, so taking this hill area is great, but typically you don't really want to push too hard up this 0 line if you're on this side. You want to just sort of hold this corner over here. If they want to push into you, that's great. If you can get shots for free, that's great, but otherwise what you want to do is you want to clear up this north side first. And then so what you notice that they have 5916 over here and a 3002D over here. So this is eventually going to be a problem for one of these guys, because like this Panther 2 is advanced up far enough that he can shoot the 3002D, and I think he did a couple of times. That's why the 3002D is hurt. But now that he's dead, the Indian Panzer would have to move forward. So until then, you're sort of worried that this 5916 is constantly lighting this guy and making him a target. And this Indian should be thinking the same thing about the 5916, that if these guys advance, they're going to be able to shoot that 5916. They don't have to go much further forward in order to do that. And so I know that there's a KV2 down there. I'm still trying to figure out a way that I can take out this 5916, which will free up our 3002D down there. He just got shot by, I think, the Tiger P. KV2 tries to derp me. And then it's really hard to get out of this ditch with any speed, so you want to drop your light if you can first, and then leave. Like, you'll notice how, like, I could have driven off to the other side a little bit, but I don't want the KV-2 to spot me. But it takes me a good, 10 seconds to get out of there, maybe a little bit more. And then, so you see, they have more tanks over here than we had first anticipated. They got 5 more. So these guys need to play really defensively now. What you really want, for if you're this team, is you want them to push into this area over here where it's like H8. So you want to give them that room. You want to give them enough rope so that they can hang themselves, sort of thing. You don't want to play too far up because that plays into their hands. And unfortunately, I think our guys like poke out just a little bit too much. And so we're taking some damage over here that we probably don't need to. Again, the best thing that we could possibly do is just draw those guys in so that, at least the KV-1S and the T-32 could get them into a crossfire. But we're doing a little bit too much of a peeking and a poking, and considering that they still have, 5 tanks over here, at least. And then here I'm just waiting for targets. There's nothing really else much that I can do right this instant. I'm trying to cover this Tiger P over here because I know that he's either going to get shot by this guy or this guy. So I need to try to be in a position where I can threaten if somebody tries to push him, like this KV-2. And then I noticed that we've poked out a little bit too much as KV-1S died, which meant that they were sort of free to push this T-32. This IS-3 isn't really supporting our T-32. And I started my reload before I noticed that. So presumably they know that I'm up there. This Ferdinand seems like he's going to be driving across, so what I want to do is just wait until he's committed. And in the meantime, they're pushing on this other side, where this Indian Panzer is. And the 3002 saved this T-34-85 by killing that Indian Panzer that he was fighting. T-34-85 then charges. He knows that the JT-88 is there, but he charged him anyways. Then I'm just waiting for my reload. I think I can clip out this Churchill 2, or 7. And then I'm deciding what to do here. And I see our IS-3 is pushing forward over here, so I just want to take a peek and make sure that that Roomba isn't in this part of the ditch over here. And then I noticed that the IS-3 ran into the Roomba, but I'm hoping that he just stays safe for a minute, because I want to go look at the middle. Our 3002D is pretty much rooted back here. And I catch the JT88 in transition. He's coming to help this other side. And then now, while I'm reloading, I figure I'll go and help the IS-3, because I know that the JT88 is going to take him some time to get there, and the IS-3 pokes out and dies, which is a common theme for this side. We do a lot of poking and dying. So I know that the Roomba's basically in that same little crevice back there that he was before, and I want to see if I can get up to him before the JT88 gets here. And then I see that the KV2 has also relocated, which is slightly more problematic. And then, so he probably has like about 20 seconds on his reload, but I don't want to push him. I could push him and kill him, but the JT88 would probably finish me off. So right now I'm thinking about flanking. And this is a situation where this is something that I probably can't do solo, but this 3002D and I could probably do together. So if we go together, then we have a chance. But basically, he's one shot to the Roomba, not to the JT88. I'm one shot to both. So I think I tell the 3002D to come with, or to push something. Yeah, I think that's push. And then it's really important that when they actually push, that you be up there with them. You don't want to be so far back. You don't want to wait for them to spot the enemy before you're in position to do something. So I know that the JT88 was headed east towards the Roomba. I figured they're probably going to get reasonably close to each other, because it is a situation where if they're close enough together, they should be able to beat us. And then, so I'm getting down here by the 3002D. I don't want to be on the exact same line as him, otherwise I'm not going to have shots. And then ideally what happens is that he will spot the JT88, get shot by him once, not die, and then I'll be able to kill him. But their Roomba is actually on this side. Go figure. And then, so I have 3 in the clip, I only have 4 shells left, so I tell the 3002 to wait, I think. Yeah. And like a puppy, completely ignores. And he goes, so I'm like, crap. And so, again, like I said, you have to push up with them, whether you're loaded or not. And so he pushes up and starts getting shot by this JT88, but luckily he hides behind the dead Roomba carcass. And we're just barely able to finish it off. And again, so a lot of that is just being patient and knowing not to push into too many tanks over here, because once you start pushing past like this area right here, they start having a huge advantage. Again, on the counter hand, as they're pushing across this field over here, if you own the hill, you can get a lot of really great shots on them. It would have been nice if we had more than just myself up there. And then stat-wise, basically, only our team did not really do that much damage. We had a couple guys do 3K. One of them was that T32 that was in that ditch, which, again, as I said, is a really great position for that tank, because it puts you in a position where you can hull down a lot. And so we were able to do 6K, but most of that, again, was, just utilizing the burst, like on that Churchill 7, and firing at those guys from beyond draw who were crossing on the northwest. So it's really about figuring out how you can sort of maximize your damage capabilities in that sense. So that pretty much ends my mini review of one way to play that Karelia, and hopefully there were some interesting tips in there and you were able to learn something from it, and thanks for watching.